How many more tears must be shed? How many more lives must be lost to senseless violence? Why are our streets continuously being painted red with blood of innocent victims? It must end, and we must be the change. Over the past weekend, we have heard of the alleged domestic violence abuse committed by a sitting member of parliament. Today, Friday, 14th of April, two bodies were removed from a residence. Two more lives wasted, allegedly by an act of domestic violence. Earlier this week, we read of a 12-year-old female being raped by a grown man, a predator who was on bail for two previous acts of this heinous crime. The lawmakers must ensure that laws on the books are enforced. Laws and amendments needed enacted by the necessary legislation, and necessary amendments to the Bail Act must be made. We can no longer sit idly by as persons are allowed to walk the streets with ankle jewelry boldly displayed for all to see, a don't care attitude, and no remorse for their actions. I call upon all Bahamians, but more importantly on all women, to take a stand. Let our voices be heard and our presence felt. Our safety is entrusted to the administrators of the government of this Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we must hold them accountable. I know that crime is not political, but the making of laws to combat crime is always in the hands of the administration of the government. Lawmakers must put personal agendas aside and work collectively to ensure the safety of the citizenry. There should be no bail, absolutely no bail, for any act of violence or gun-related crimes. We must make this make sense. We must ensure that citizens are afforded the full protection of the law so that vigilante killings can cease. We must press for, and we must be the change. Any act of domestic violence or gender-based crime should not be tolerated and should be given priority attention regardless of who the perpetrator is. We must fight for and stand together for the safety and protection of those vulnerable souls among us that cannot fight for themselves. We must hold our lawmakers accountable. We must educate our people to know what is acceptable behavior and to know how to resolve conflict. Every entity must work together. Churches, NGOs, corporations, associations, lodges, and political parties. We must be on the same page. We must condemn these acts of violence, and we must make the punishment align with the crime. We can do this. We must do this. Let us lift up our heads to the rising sun. Let us march on, Bahamaland, a peaceful nation for its people, united in love and service. Where have all the flowers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. When will we ever learn? When will we ever learn? This is Vanessa Scott, President, FNM Women's Association.